Hi everyone, it's Dr. Conley. I just finished reviewing all of your posts. Really good job. You guys are pretty intense in your writing. What happens is you wind up provoking the best in me. So when you do a really thorough, hardworking job, that's what I wind up giving you back. So you'll see a lot of the typical highlights. I attached an article here, an article there. Um, Someone I forget who stumbled into the Cochrane collaboration, which is a collection of um, evidence-based practices, which have gone through unbelievably rigorous review. And I think I cited that for several of you. So look for that link to the Cochrane stuff and feel free to go there and get additional citations as we move forward. It's an excellent source of getting hold of anything you want for evidence-based practices and coming up with summaries and reviews, and it's highly reputable. Um, with Jonathan's case, a lot of you wanted to go right to the psychoeducation, let him know what's going on with his brain. And you showed me that you know what's going on with his brain. Communicating that to him, given his current mental status, is going to be really difficult. A couple of you said use plain language. Don't use stigmatizing language. It's good to know the slang. Don't use the slang. You'll see comments like that throughout. Um, and it's instinctive to want him to know what's going on with him. But we're going to have to slow pedal that and take first things first. Most of you cited motivational interviewing, excellent. Most of you cited, and that's the connection to Cochrane, I think. And most of you cited cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. One of you mentioned narrative, which is great. A narrative thing like, okay, Jonathan, we're going to put together the story of your life. You're going to tell it to me. You can work your MI statements into that narrative. But this is a guy who's really starting to look at his life and go, look at how old I am. And this is going on again. And he spent, 3 years in jail off and on cumulatively. It's just, eating his life. So he's got a lot of things that he wants. He's got a lot of stuff that he's motivated to get. So he will come to see, if you MI him right, he will come to see that, the substances are the obstacle, not the solution. And one of you asked that specifically. How do you get somebody who thinks that the substance is solving their problem to a place where they realize the substance is causing their problem? So it's a long haul. Most of you said start with engagement, with empathy, really build rapport, be authentic, be present with him. He's going to remember what he feels more than what he thinks when he sees you. And we want them coming back. We always want the client to feel like they want to come back and they felt better after they left us than when they came in. Um, Two other things. Dr. Conley did a fair amount of work evaluating residential methamphetamine treatment programs. I'll probably bore you by throwing up a copy of one of my eval reports for that. Uh, Also, there was a huge program run in a rural state. It was in Montana. I was working there at the time. And their goal of the Montana Meth Project was to saturate the media market, radio spots, TV spots, billboards, print, with, this is what happens to you if you use meth. And I put one image in one of the posts. I'm going to throw a couple more at you too. They're pretty gross. There was community outrage. One of the billboards had to be taken down. It was just so disgusting. But the idea was that if we show people what chronic late stage meth use looks like, remember how Jonathan had the skin issues, et cetera, which one of you covered extremely well, the etiology of that. But if you show people that then they won't use. They'll stop. They won't start using. And it didn't. It didn't have any effect at all. It was just all smoke and mirrors. It was a total waste of money. Not publicly funded. It was funded by a billionaire. But the research that was done on it showed it didn't work. So I tacked that into somebody's post. I'll put it up here with the this announcement. Two other things, just kind of a housekeeping thing. I put up the AI thing because if I see something repeated in two different posts and it's pretty much the exact same thing, I wonder where it's coming from. And it's not set up so that one of you could take it from another's post, so it had to come from somewhere else, and that's where my little spider sense went off. Um, I have a partner who makes a hobby out of ferreting out what's on AI about our course, and be really careful. Like I said in the other post, I kind of go nuclear if I kind of catch wind of that. It doesn't mean that you can't use it to some degree as an assisted search engine, that kind of thing. I've done it myself, I think, in one of my earlier announcements or with someone. Uh, but really, you need to form your own impressions and come up with your own language for these things. Most of you, I'd say all of you did a really good job of coming up with citations and references. So thanks for that. Um, the final thing is with grades, I review everything on Friday. If by the end of my review time, which it's almost 5 o'clock here Friday, if by the end of that I don't have any post and I haven't heard from you, then I throw a 0 up in the grade book just as a placeholder. Um, you're going to lose points if it comes in late and I have to review it late. And if I have nothing by Monday, the 0 is just going to stay there. But it doesn't mean that you have a 0. It means that that's what you're carrying now until I get some work from you tomorrow or Sunday. But after Sunday night, that's it. It's all kind of locked in by the time the quiz is done because we open another module. So, um, yeah, it's just I've got to work that way. There's 16 of you, and I can't go backwards and grade last week's stuff. So that said, I am really enjoying the course. It looks like you are learning a lot, and I hope it's going well for you. As always, I'm just an email away. If you email me and haven't heard from me in 2 days, feel free to text. Hey, Dr. C, you have an email. So I'll throw my phone number in the announcement for today. So that's what I got. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Study hard. Keep up the good work.